Alright, Cricbuzz chatter is indoors today because of course we are by the coast in Visakhapatnam. It is so windy outside, but luckily the wind, the rain, everything held enough to give us a full 98 overs. Had to make up half an hour from yesterday. It was a strange kind of day, Shaun Pollock, because you had someone making a double hundred, someone making 176, and next best was 30.
Yeah, it was a little bit strange, the batting card. The main man, Mayank was up, but he was performing really well, and nice for him. I think, he obviously has tried to strive his way through Indian cricket and knock down the door through some quality performances. So when he got to that 100, it was nice to see him go and get a really big score.
You haven't seen him play before?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of him. I saw him in Australia, played nicely in their conditions in the test matches there, and I saw a little bit of him in the West Indies. So I've been impressed by what I've seen, and it's always nice when a young man's trying to make his way and eventually get something that should solidify his position for a while.
It was a peculiar combination that, because as an opening batsman for India, this is his fifth test match, so in effect he was a senior partner to Rohit Sharma, who'd never opened in a test match before, and yet Rohit is such a big figure in Indian cricket that Rohit is actually shepherding him along as he got to 100. It was a run-out attempt and he said, doesn't matter, and there he took a single, gave him the strike. When he got to 100, he sat with him for a long time, said, now you need to make it bigger. So it was interesting that the dynamics there.
Yeah, it's the advantage of how much international cricket Rohit's played. So it was good to see him perform and help his other partner out the other end. I think it stands Indian cricket in good stead going forward.
Now, towards the end of that Indian innings, India obviously achieved two things. They got the runs on the board, but they batted long enough for the track to start helping the spinners, because towards the end, Keshav Maharaj, whose left hand will be cast instrument today, he won't be moving it, and even Dane Pete got some turn towards the end.
Yeah, South Africa were better today, of that there's no doubt. They basically allowed 300 runs and picked up 7 wickets, so it was a much better performance from them. But they'll still go away very disappointed. Not really with the bowling effort. I think they always had their backs to the wall and they knew that there was probably going to be a declaration before they had a bat. But having lost those 3 wickets, if you've been 40 without loss, you're in the game. But to have lost those 3 means they're really on the back foot, and now they're looking around for big performances to come. You've got Faf to come, you've got Timber at the crease, Dean Algar's always going to give you 120%, and then you've got Quinton de Kock. So those are the 4 they're going to have to rely on. But it's going to be tough going to make India have to bat again.
Now, India had South Africa in disarray in that little while that they were in. Was it because they're bowling at a better time? The wicket was 2 days old, bowling at a better time? Or demons in South African batsmen's mind, maybe we need to play out tomorrow, we don't know what the track's going to do?
I think we saw examples today of the surface misbehaving a little bit more than we did on day one. Odd ball stayed low, odd ball bounced a little bit. I think the Indian spinners, and particularly Ashwin, was really good in his 7 overs or 8 overs, whatever he bowled. Got the ball to react off the pitch, nice hard seam, and really asked a lot of questions. So it was what we had come to expect. I don't think there were any gremlins. I think it was just bowling and on a surface that's going to offer up a little bit. So I think the South Africans will be disappointed with their first outing of 20 overs.
There were 2 pictures in that brief South African innings that I want to talk to you about. One is after Aiden Markram had got out and Tinus de Bruin came in, and he walked up to Dean Elgar saying, what's happening? And I couldn't read their lips, but he seemed to suggest it wasn't easy.
Yeah, I think he might have said to him it's quite difficult out here. I think the struggle for the South Africans is it seemed so easy for India for a long period of time. So when you go out and bat, you think, well, we should be able to do something similar. Markram got that first one that turned and went over the top of the stumps, and then the one that turned and hit the stumps. And all of a sudden questions are starting to be asked. But Dean Algar fought hard. I think De Bruin would be disappointed in the way he got out. It was a little bit of a loose shot at that stage of the day. If he played it tomorrow, we'd probably forgive him. But with just a few overs to go, a little bit disappointed. Then Dane Pete, you can't really ask much for the night watch.
But that's the other picture that I saw. When he got bowled, his face was, why did that happen? I mean, I bowled on it, didn't happen. Why did that happen?
Yeah, I think the angle, that quicker delivery, Jadeja's got those variations. So it's a good mix that India have got in their 2 spinners, and they're going to be effective, particularly if the surface starts to offer up a little bit more.
Just as well, you played all your cricket in South Africa and Durban and all those trampolines that you gave India every time India came there, because otherwise you'd have bowled 1 over like Shami, and then you'd be at fine like watching the spinners bowl.
Well, we came here and we won a test series and we bowled our fair share of overs. Nicky Boyer did a great job for us on that trip. He won the test series for us, picking up 6 or 7 or whatever it was at Bangalore. But we had to do our fair share. And yeah, it's an interesting situation. I mean, often the spinners in India will go overseas and not get many overs to bowl because the seamers do the job. But when they come home, they definitely earn their wages.
Right, day 3 now. Just looking down, 502 for 7 India, South Africa 39 for 3. You've been captain of South Africa. You've just been called in and said, right, what do we do?
It's going to be a tough ask. I mean, ideally what they want to try and do is somehow get past 302 and make India back again. There's some conditions around. There might be some rain throughout this test match. So if they can do that, then all of a sudden they give themselves a chance of surviving. But it's going to be a huge task. 3 down for 30 or 40 or whatever it may be. They really are. And I think it's more about individually the guys coming up with what game plan can we employ to be successful on these surfaces, because you can talk as much as you want, but individually you have to come up with your own game plan of how you're going to do the job. And I think that's where the issue lies. I think some of the guys are not too sure how they should approach it. Even in those 20 overs we saw them try and mix up aggression with solid defence. It didn't really work. Some of them came off, but it's going to be interesting to see, particularly the experience. I'm looking forward to, obviously Dean Elgar showing us how you can go about it. Faf, Quinton and Temba, I think those guys are the guys I want to see how they play and see how they go about their business.
Watch as well tomorrow for the pace at which they bowl. Jadeja was bowling mid to high 90s. Ashwin pulled it back a little bit. The moment he pulled it back, he started asking more questions. But this track, as Shaun's been telling you, is not a minefield just yet. Yeah. It will get worse. But at the moment, it's not a minefield. One guy's got to stand up and say we'll bat. But if Ashwin can get amongst the wickets early, remember he's not played a single test match this year. Ashwin, so it's his first test match, and we're in October. So I think that will be the key factor. I think the Ashwin and Jadeja to Elgar will be the key factor. I also think Faf has got to make a statement.
Yeah, he does. He needs to try and lead from the front here. And the longer they can keep India out there in the first innings in particular, means it's going to be a more difficult task for the overs you have to bowl in the second innings. So ideally the plan would be to 302 or 303 to make sure that they had India bat again. But also the key is also not to worry about that distant goal. Just focus on 10 runs, 20 runs, 30 runs at a time and try and get yourselves in and get comfortable. It gets a lot easier once you've been there for a time.
Yeah, that's South Africa's plan. I think India's plan, won't be surprised if we see Ishant Sharma bowling a fair bit round the wicket to create the rough for Ashwin. But it's a bowling day, third day. We'll know at the end exactly where this game is going, but India in the driver's seat.